Hey, I'm Scott and welcome to the Powerhouse. You know, we do so many things to try to improve our image. I'm trying to lose weight, got the hat, trying to get all cool. You know, I ain't got a whole lot to work with, so I have to accessorize. But you know, we do all these things to try to impress other people and try to make our image look better. Girls do it too. They wear the makeup, they get the hair done, and they do the nails and all these things that all of us do that we want to make ourselves have a good image. Do you know what one of the best looking things anyone can do for their image? One of the best looking things a man or a woman could do. And that is to be humble. Today we're talking about a good apology versus a bad apology. How to apologize today on the Powerhouse. Now, I'm one of these kind of people that apologizes even if I am right. Isn't that weird? I want people to like me. I want people to be thankful that I'm there and that I'm around. I want people to enjoy being in my presence and to be proud of me. So I will sometimes, when someone's angry with me or we have a conflict, which is not very often. I don't have a whole lot of conflict, but whenever that does happen, there have been times where I would go and I would apologize. Even if I had not done anything wrong, I would just go to apologize to people. Sometimes we throw apologies around, and apologizing is very difficult to do. It's very hard to say I'm sorry. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I want to help you and me make our apologies mean something. I had gone through some real tough times in my last church, and I had one or two people that really hated my guts. They wanted to see me gone. They believed rumors that they had heard about me that were unfounded. I was never a perfect person, but I was not the person they thought that I was. And I remember right before I left that church, this one guy that had come at me, and I mean, he had really come at me very, very hard, and I could really feel evil in his intentions. I wanted to be able to go home and go to sleep at night and know that I had done the right thing, bottom line. So I went to his office and I walked in there and I sat down with him and I said, look, I said, if I have offended you, if I have done something to upset you, I apologize. And he said something that I thought was very poignant. He said something that really stuck in my heart. And here's what he said. He said, never apologize if, or never apologize saying, I apologize, but. He said, apologize and be specific. If you have something you want to say, apologize for it. Well, the things that he was upset about, I could not honestly and truly apologize for because they weren't true. They weren't real. So you know what I did? I told him that I wished him well and I'd be praying for him, and I left. When we apologize, the very first thing that we need to do, if we want it to be a meaningful, real apology and to be heartfelt, come from a place that is well-meaning and do good, is to be specific. Apologize for what you did do. If you did something to upset someone, then I apologize for doing this. If you have upset somebody or hurt somebody, if you have harmed somebody, I apologize for hurting you. I apologize for saying this. I apologize for doing this. You're being specific, and you go to the person or to all of the people involved. You apologize to those that matter. You don't go to apologize to their friend so that their friend will tell them. You don't apologize to an entire church group because of that one guy sitting right down there. You go to the people that you want to apologize to, and you apologize specifically. You know, one of the reasons I think that apologies are so hard is because they force us to look at ourselves without pride. They force us to put pride away. And pride is a terrible, terrible sin. And it forces us to be real, not only with ourselves, but with other people. This past week, I had 3 different times that I was asked by bosses in my place of employment, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? And in all 3 cases, It was not things that I set out to do. It's, some sin is that way. Some sins are just blatant sins against God. Other sins are missing the mark. You just don't hit the mark that you should hit. And in these three cases, all three cases were things that I did not intend on doing, but I ended up going to lunch at the same time as someone else, and it left the department empty. I ended up doing this, ended up doing that. And in all three cases, you know what? I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry that I didn't talk with so-and-so. I even told that manager, I said, look, don't be upset with other guys. It's me. It's me. It's on me. And I take full responsibility. And then secondly, we have to accept the consequences. Just because someone forgives us doesn't mean that they forget. And just because I have forgiven others doesn't mean that I have forgotten either. The Bible tells us that we must forgive. The Bible commands us to forgive other people that hurt us. And the reason we do that is that it gets God involved. I can't in my own strength forgive what someone has done to me. I can't in my own power forgive what some of the things that have happened against me, but I can allow God to work in my life and to forgive those people using His help. He can help me forgive them. But it's important that we remember that we don't always forget. And they don't always forget. Sometimes the consequences are you may lose that friendship. The Bible doesn't say that we have to stay friends with that person. Sometimes that's a very real consequence. Third, we have to alter our behavior. We have to change the way we act. When we ask someone to forgive us for something or we apologize for something, we don't need to do it anymore. We don't need to do it anymore. If we've harmed someone, if we've upset somebody, we don't need to upset them anymore. We need to move on from that. And then number 4, we just need to give it time. Whenever we ask someone for forgiveness, when we say, I'm sorry, we need to give them time. If they want to come back and be our friends, they will. If they want to forgive us, they will. Even though we are commanded to forgive others, others don't always forgive us. And it's something that we need to know that sometimes takes time. Some of the people that were involved in some of the most hurtful times of my life are now some of my best friends, some of my greatest friends. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that we were able to get around that. There have been times that my wife and I were at odds, but you know what? We got through those times, and now we're closer than we've ever been before and stronger because of what we went through. These things all make changes and all make a difference in our life. Now, there are a couple of things about bad apologies I want to throw out there too. I've often heard people when they apologize say, that's just not the kind of person I am. Well, that doesn't help the person you're apologizing to because they're saying, well, you did it. Well, it is the kind of person you are because it happened. So avoid saying that's just not the kind of person I am. Accept it. I've also seen people say, I said I'm sorry. What more do you want? Look, we go right back to that other point. Just because you apologize doesn't mean that person has to accept your apology. Doesn't mean they're always going to forgive you. There will be consequences many times, and that's important that we understand that. It's also important to know that I'm sorry and asking for forgiveness really are two different things. I'm sorry is something you say whenever you make a mistake. Asking for forgiveness and truly having an apologetic heart is something that you do when you sinned against someone. Whenever you've wronged someone, it wasn't a mistake. You did something you shouldn't have done. Finally, I want to say this. Our apologies and our pleas for forgiveness, our willingness to make amends with other people, they are rooted, and the ultimate goal of them is to accurately reflect God in our life to other people, to those people that we've wronged. When we recognize that we have hurt someone and we recognize the fact that we've prayed about this and God has laid this on our heart and we want to change, we want to do better, we want to accurately represent Christ in our walk with Him and in our walk with other people and with the people that we've offended, then that shows them that God is truly moving in this decision for us to come to them and work it out with them. Finally, I want to say that Christians should be better at apologizing than anyone else in the world. We should be the best apologizers ever. It's hard to say I'm sorry. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. And put the pride away. But we should be so thankful for the way that God has accepted us. And in spite of all the things that we've done to Him, He's loved us and he's accepted us through it all. And we should be so moved by that we're willing to try to make up the things that we've done to other people as well. And other people will see him walking and moving in our life. It's my goal that you will be a better believer. You'll be a better Christian because you've learned to walk in humility. The best thing we can do for our image is humility. But you know what? We're a reflection of the image of God. We're a reflection of the image of Christ in our life. He is the one that makes all the difference in the world. And because of him and because of what he did on the cross, I can be forgiven of my sin against him. And there are many times that I should be willing to ask others for my forgiveness of my sin against them as well.